What you're hearing right now is the main menu theme for the Wii console. It's what plays in the background when you decide to stay on the Wii menu and ponder whether you want to play a game, mess around in the Me channel, or just catch up on unread notifications that you received. There were a ton of cool channels that Nintendo provided which entertained me for hours on end, such as the Me channel, Photo channel, Check Me Out channel, Everybody Votes channel, the Internet channel, Nintendo channel, YouTube channel, and the Netflix channel. While the Me and Photo channel were pre-installed on every Wii console, the others that I mentioned could only be accessed through the channel that I want to discuss in this video, the Wii Shop channel. Disclaimer: this video is not a diss on why the eShop is terrible, because it does many things right. I just want to talk about my point of view on what I think Nintendo is missing with the current version of the Nintendo Switch eShop compared to what the Wii Shop channel provided. During Nintendo's 2005 E3 presentation, Satoru Iwata was being vague about this project Nintendo was working on named Nintendo Revolution. In this presentation, Iwata began talking about backward compatibility for their new project. While the idea of playing a game of a previous console in a new console wasn't new to Nintendo, what Iwata explained on stage was a massive surprise to the audience.
Finally, I'd like to give you one full answer to a piece of the Revolution puzzle I have talked about previously: backward compatibility. As I said, the disk drive will accept GameCube games, but we are redefining the term backward compatibility. That's because we have designed Revolution to be a virtual console capable of downloading 20 years of Nintendo content. You will be able to purchase great games originally created for NES, Super NES, and Nintendo 64. It is accurate to say that Nintendo Revolution is technically capable of playing virtually every Nintendo console game ever created. The idea of a single device transporting us back to the first Excitebike, Earthbound, or Punch-Out should make us all feel young again. At least for a while.
Virtual console games. It's a huge reason why the Wii console made a ton of profit for Nintendo. I'm not denying that there were other factors that went into the success of the Wii, but you can't deny the power of nostalgia driving those virtual console sales. And Nintendo wasn't just selling NES, SNES, and Nintendo 64 games. Just take a look at all of the consoles that were featured on Nintendo's virtual catalog for the Wii. Sega, Neo Geo, and a few other developers got their old school games onto the shop so that veteran gamers could relive the past. While not every single game from all of the consoles featured were available for purchase, the building blocks for a solid virtual console market was set in place. You're wrong. While the Wii Shop channel didn't have a way to digitally purchase first-party games like Super Mario Galaxy, and by technicality it is outdated, it has a similar resemblance to the current version of eShop. In fact, I would go as far as to say that the Switch eShop carried the same concept minus one important feature. Let's compare and contrast the Wii console's Wii Shop with the Switch console's eShop to understand what I'm talking about. So what exactly did the Wii Shop channel accomplish? There were digital third-party and indie games, DLC to certain video games, and although there were no constant updates or patches, the only video game that got a patch was The Legend of Zelda: Skyward Sword. It shows that Nintendo was capable of doing this. What is it lacking compared to the current generation eShop? No digital releases of first-party Nintendo games, and no online membership option to be able to access online features. What does the Switch eShop accomplish? You're able to purchase digital versions of first-party, third-party, and indie games, DLC to many video games, and also updates and patches, albeit way more constantly than Wii ever did, and an online membership service that allows you to access online features. What is it lacking compared to the past generation Wii Shop channel? Virtual console games. As weird as Nintendo's business practices can be, I do support what they're currently doing for the Switch eShop. It's awesome to be able to digitally purchase first-party, third-party, and indie games. I also welcome the DLCs that games provide, like Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. My feelings on Nintendo's online membership are mixed, but $20 per year is a great deal if it's mandatory to pay for online services from now on. My own personal issue with the Switch eShop is that there is no way to own virtual console games I enjoyed, like Super Mario Bros. 3, Kirby's Adventure, Yoshi's Island, Donkey Kong Country, and many other old generation games. That's a good point. While I can't deny that being lent 80 plus virtual console games for the low price of $20 per year doesn't look bad, that's still cheating. If you'll allow me to go back to my personal point, I'd like to rehash by saying that I wish there was a way for me to own virtual console games on the Switch. That's the difference between my argument and the online membership argument. Paying for access to virtual console games are cool for the moment, but then what happens if I want to own that specific game? I can't just go on the Switch eShop, search up Super Mario Bros. 3, and buy it for myself. While I wasn't a Sony fan, I remember having a PS3 and getting access to PS Plus. Yes, PS Plus did lend digital versions of games to anyone who bought the membership plan, but Sony did something smart with their service. They wouldn't normally lend digital games to PS Plus members unless a game has been out for quite a while. So if you played the 2016 version of the Ratchet & Clank game, you'd be able to immediately purchase it for yourself if you wanted to continue playing after your membership expires. It feels like Nintendo is trying to emulate this concept, except the execution fails because I can't purchase a digital copy of Super Mario Bros. 3 on the Switch eShop. Once Nintendo either swaps out the game for a different one, or the NES SNES game service shuts down, it's gone for good. This is the total amount of virtual console games from the Wii, 3DS, Wii U, and the Switch. Each system contains a vast amount of virtual console games that you were and are capable of purchasing and then owning forever. Each system except for the Switch. Nintendo doesn't even plan on bringing virtual console games to the Switch, as referenced by the dozens of articles that report the exact same statement. So what does this mean? Well, maybe my nostalgia blinded me from realizing why Nintendo doesn't need to sell virtual console games on the Switch. Thanks for watching the video. I am making a part 2 to explain why I think the Switch actually doesn't need virtual console games to succeed. So be sure to subscribe so that you're ready for when the next video uploads.